after finishing college, the first thing that we did was I used to design clothes.
Is that
Yes, because there was nobody who would recognize an architect, and especially as a lady architect.
Because I'm very brutal, frank. Like Mr. Ramaji Rose, when I had my first test, so he'd asked me, Siraj, do you like this? I said, no, I think it's a terrible room. So everybody, hey, he's the chairman. I said, so what? I'm the architect. You know.
No, I was away from Hyderabad for 15 years. 15 years I was away in Bangalore. When I came back to Hyderabad, I saw the total 180 degree shift.
Yeah.
We brought in this UPVC window at that time, where it is a factory-made window, prefabricated in the factory, then bring it here. When we went and approached the clients, they used to mock at us saying that, "Pagal hai kya? Koi plastic ka use karta hai kya khidki mein?" That's the kind of objections we used to have.
If you had any special powers, would you sort of stop this vertical growth that we are seeing?
I wouldn't stop it. I would make Hyderabad a more pedestrian friendly city. This is one of the things that we are sadly lacking in this part of the city. You can get killed trying to cross a road. There are no footpaths. There are no parks at all. So I wish in the future the town planning authorities include more kind of green spaces into the expansion program.
Hello, welcome to the first edition of Design Dialogue with Shweta. This is powered by Delite Global. Hyderabad is a city that has sort of changed pretty drastically, very quickly. Its architecture carries ambition, memory of how we lived, gathered and welcomed people. Today we have with us some distinguished guests who not only have grown with the city but have importantly worked with it. Renu and Siraj shaped the language of hospitality at a time when generosity mattered more than spectacle. Architect Yeshwant Rama Murthy works in a very fragile space with, loss, revival, asking how a city remembers and repairs itself. And from Tostem, we have a perspective with Mr. Kannan that's to see how Hyderabad's shift towards precision and performance have changed. Together, they allow us to reflect on where the city has come from and where it might be headed. This is not a conversation just about nostalgia. It's about responsibility to place memory and the future of what we are shaping. So my first question is to you, Renu ma'am. First, let me tell you, you've been a diva for I think generations that have grown up in Hyderabad. And you've brought a very personal, strong style statement in the way you dress to the spaces you designed. So when Hyderabad was so much slower and less image driven, how did you find the confidence to trust your own aesthetic?
A little difficult to say that because I think maybe I was born with it. And as initially, obviously, the confidence doesn't come till you do some work and you appreciate it and stuff like that. Designing, in any case, was part of me kind of a thing, because after finishing college, the first thing that we did was I used to design clothes.
Is that
Yes, because there was nobody who would recognize an architect, and especially as a lady architect. Okay, so it was, so I had a boutique called Exotica, which I started with a friend of mine, then slowly moved to designing furniture, and then got back into the actual profession, which is architecture and interiors. More interiors I do because people still have that block. A lady cannot design the architecture building or whatever. I mean, not anymore, but when we started our work. And so everyone thought, okay, Siraj is designing the outer side, she will do the inside, because they have that feminine ladies, घर में काम कर रहे हैं तो वो लोग सिर्फ घर का ही कर सकते हैं.
The decorating and design was always mixed up, right?
शुरू में ऐसा था, but now as the years have passed and been in this business, तो थोड़ा उसमें confidence आया था, and I think it was part of my genes to be confident.
We should talk about Exotica very soon and see if you still have your old designs. Anyway, moving on, Yeshwant sir, craft is often slow, imperfect, and deeply local. In a city that's sort of racing forward, what does it take today to convince clients about, the whole idea of memory and making this still matter?
Okay, so when we work in craft, ironically, it comes back to customization. And today is the world of customizing things and doing bespoke design. And nothing can be more bespoke than actually creating craft for a specific interior. So that's one of the ways that we promote craft and craftsmanship. Also, to be able to explain that craft is such a beautiful thing. It's a combination of what you think through your heart and with your hands. And when people realize that so much has gone into making this piece of craft, and yet it's anonymous, it's not signed by an artist like M.F. Hussain.
Sure.
Then they realize the value of investing money and time into using craft in their interiors. But you can't always be very old-fashioned with craft. You have to innovate. We have to do a lot of design intervention to bring craft into the contemporary idiom of design.
Yes, that is so beautifully put. Siraj sir, this is for
Yes.
you. After designing, we know you as the hotel restaurant man, right? I mean, I'm sure there's
That's
so much
where
more.
that you started from, yes.
But after designing so many hotels and public spaces, where in Hyderabad do you think you go, and if that space exists, where it feels deeply personal and sort of untouched by time?
Well, if you ask me that, I would say, when you're talking about this, you're talking about a memory. You're talking about something you've grown up with. You're talking about something you're actually, we attach to all our projects, but they're somewhere very special because every project has a story behind. And I can tell you the story also if you have the time.
Yes, all yours.
Now those are the days when I was in Bangalore already and she was here. And there was a group of friends here who we knew very well, Vinod Reddy and the son of the chief minister of that time, Janardhan Reddy's son, and Shyam Reddy, and Mohan Reddy and all. So somebody told me, guys, Siraj, you do so many pubs and all. And I've already by that time, we had done the Black Cadillac in Bangalore, which was a hit and which won us many awards. We did a lot of pubs there and blah, blah, blah and all that. And it started off with that. Of course, we were doing hotels also, but a pub, a small project you become very attached to it. But then a small project was a big revenue earner, And so everybody saw that, and someone told me that, look, there is a pub here that's open. He said, no, that's a very British pub, very British pub. I said, why? I'd love to see it. Because pub basically is British.
Correct.
As an architect, how it came from public rooms. So I said, chalo yaar, jaake dekhte hain. So he called it the Barrel House Street. Now the name and pub names in Bangalore like that, Hog in the Pound,
Yes.
and there's Barrel House Street. So I went there. First I entered and I saw one whole, trampoline on the wall, Hussain Sagar and Buddha standing there. And Hussain Sagar, I said, oh, pub, yeah. Wahan dekhe, so there are some pictures on the wall. There was nothing in that which, with due respect to whoever done that. Because everybody has their own. Maybe he had something else and the name was turned, but I don't know. So he said, no, there's a pub, all that. Anyway, one day at a party we met and all that. Did you like it, Vinod asked? I said, no, I didn't like it. Because I'm very brutal, frank. Like Mr. Ramaji, when I had my first test with him, he asked me, he'd done a job there. He'd done a Dolphin Hotel, one of my first hotels. He'd done the thing, so he'd asked me, Siraj, do you like this? I said, no, I think it's a terrible room. So everybody, hey, he's the chairman. I said, so what? I'm the architect. So it's like that. I told him on his face. I said, look, Vinod, you're a friend. It's a terrible thing. How can you call it a pub? So he said, okay, Raya, what I'll do is, I said, look, when you design a pub next, I'm not saying I'm the end all and be all, but I have my interest. He said, no, we know about you. We've seen your work. Next site we do, we'll call you. So next site, in 6 months, he called me. That point in time, it was there in Swapna Lok, the basement. So he said, Achhi baat, now let's come, and have a chat. We'll have a drink and go and have a chat. How to go about it? I said, come, I'll tell you what. Now, what is you're saying that is not. I said, I'll tell you what is not good. So, because a pub is quintessentially a British pub, you have to elements of British style. Of course, even in Bond Street, you have modern pubs, but that's a different matter. That's a kind of a intervention by another kind of line of thinking. So that's fine. I mean, someone did that, but it went well, but not so well, because in a pub, it grows with you. Each time you go is a new experience. Anyways, cut the long story short, I think it's been long enough. But I said, look, you have to have a British style. You have to have those kind of old styles, And what is the name? I said, look, let me tell you, we must have a name. Forget Hog in the Pound or the Red Bull or the thing. Let's call it the 10 Downing Street. He said, oh, how good. I said, because barrel house and all that will not have a connotation. What people say, what is barrel house? They don't know what a British. 10 Downing Street, England. It was such a hit, such a hit. I got the logo also designed in the same way. The 10 I said you repeated were balanced. A very dear friend of mine, Tony, did. And there it all started. And they were rocking in that pub. I mean, it was not a very nice building, but then it got bombed. We resurrected it. That much interest, The chandeliers were mauled. Complete. I said, no, we'll do it. We'll redo the whole thing. We redid it. Vinod said, Siru, I can't believe it's the same thing that my father cut a ribbon on. It's completely after the fire broke out, like he did the club. Beautifully done. And we did the small little thing there. So then after that they shifted again. So they said, come and select your place. We went to Lifestyle, Renu and I select the place. Again, we got the same, almost the same elements of design, and the design vocabulary was very British. Yeah. And till I was running. So I just love it, and she loved this. I mean, even when at times when I'm not there, I go to my 10 Downing, have my my roast. So that is how. And other projects, we asked me, I'm very close to my projects that I've done because I did a lot of work after Hyderabad. One was the Movenpick Hotel in Bangalore, of course. That was architecture. And I did 2 hotels for a group called Residency Towers in Chennai and Bangalore. For them, we had done the Chennai also, but the Coimbatore one, I really love. So when I go there, I feel very, very at home. I don't go anywhere out to eat. I just sit there and eat. So you get attached to your work because that is your life and that's your bread and butter.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yes.
But I think it's not just you. I think there's an entire generation of us.
I
mean, if I have to go to a Tendi, I won't go to the one in Gachibowli. I will go to the one in Lifestyle.
Oh, we have done that also, but they ruined it. I mean, they ruined it.
No,
they put that brewery there.
yeah,
see, the challenges there. Again, in one of your questions, there are challenges. There are challenges. Everything, that's how are you surviving? We survive on challenges. Give me a challenge. I love a challenge. Give me the most difficult site, I'll design it for you. And mindset is like that. Most architects are like that. So, that being the case, this, what are you talking about? We were talking about, I digress.
That's okay. We were talking about memory, and you brought it back to
memory. So that is how it is, So that hotel is quite close to me. So, I mean, everybody's work, whether you're an architect or a doctor, but architecture is something, is a visual art. I mean, everybody lives in your work, sleeps in your work, drinks in your work.
Everybody has a point of view.
The spaces that you design, the spaces that you define, that you led the whole thing and you gave clients the direction, what to do, go by. Quality of spaces, this, that, and the other, and that's a different matter. So this is what my first love is. We love those works, small little works.
Mr. Kannan, I think I'll ask you, you've sort of been in the business of windows, right? And you operate at a point where architecture meets engineering and precision. When do you think this whole shift, you started seeing the shift in Hyderabad's scale of work where people started demanding for performance, longevity, precision? When do you think this happened in your experience?
See, it all happened when the architecture started becoming lighter and the buildings becoming bigger, right? So, the walls started getting replaced with glass, right? So typically, originally, when you talk about windows, a few years ago, 15 years ago, it was like a timber window or a site-made aluminum windows, right? But then that had its own limitations in terms of you have to find a good carpenter, you have to get a good timber, then season it, then make the window in the site, it messes up the whole place and all. So that's when, and then after the window is made also, you wouldn't be sure whether it is perfect in terms of sealing, whether it allows water to come inside or dust goes inside. So all those issues were there. So that's when I got associated in the window industry in 2006. We brought in this UPVC window at that time, where it is a factory-made window, prefabricated in the factory, then bring it here. When we went and approached the clients, they used to mock at us saying that पागल है क्या कोई plastic का use करता है क्या खिड़की में. That's the kind of objections we used to have. But then once we started making the window, and which has got an inbuilt water drainage mechanism and all the other functional items into it, that's when the whole thing shifted. So now you don't have to wait for an artisan to come and make a window. It is all made outside in the factory and comes and gets fitted into the site. So that's how the whole thing shifted, and the window sizes started becoming bigger. Then you need to have a good material which kind of holds the system and then gives you the functionality. So that's how the whole system evolved. We also, as a person from the industry, we also evolved. We moved from wood to local aluminum, then to PVC. Now again we are coming back to the system aluminum. Now again it is slowly shifting to premium timber. So that's how the whole thing moves.
So I think this is a general question for all of you. You've all seen Hyderabad sort of grow and change from a city that sort of paused and had its courtyards to the speed and scale that we see today. At what point do you think that the city's rhythm truly changed, and do you think that the architecture sort of led the way there, or did we as architects just respond to what was happening?
As architects, we just responded to the growth. That I mean, to be honest, to really look at it, all what, and the thing, this has spread so much, Gachibowli and all those names, I don't even know and probably won't even remember.
What you're saying.
But what culture and Hyderabad was there, they have forgotten that.
Culture and capital.
Old city, they are not bothered. I mean, areas, the areas, even Banjara Hills for that matter, like what it was and what it is now. I mean, it has changed huge. Now, whether you want to say whether it's for good or bad, but जब haphazard होता, but actually speaking, Hyderabad उतना haphazard नहीं है जैसा दूसरे cities हैं. We are still better off. What do you think?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
I mean, we still, our expansion, our, I mean, like today when we were driving, and the roads and all, it's pretty well worked out,
Well balanced, very well balanced.
But whatever they are concentrating on the new side, they're forgetting the piche ka. So, I mean, if you look at Banjaras, for that matter, I'm talking about Banjaras because the roads are really pathetic. But when you drive this way, you still feel ki, okay, you've come to a bigger city. What you don't find it in other cities, like if I have to compare Hyderabad and Bangalore. Bangalore is really bad.
I agree with you. It still has a soul of its own.
It has a soul.
Hey,
The people have a soul. The people have a soul.
It's a very welcoming city.
it
No
is.
doubt about that.
And I think it's the only city where we are fortunate that you can
Correct.
traverse 650 years of history within an hour and a half
Absolutely.
from one to the other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes Hyderabad so special for people like us who live.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm
And for
glad.
him, Yeshwant, more because he's into that Pakka heritage.
Preservation and all that. Yeah, he's into preservation,
So he does that, and I think thanks to him, which.
And we still have a feeling for heritage. He mentioned a project that is close to all our hearts, the Secunderabad Club.
Yeah.
The reason we kind of restored it and rebuilt it is because it's so strongly in the conscience of so many thousands of people who use it. And so also the school that both of us attended, the Hyderabad Public School. So being an architect and a consultant for that kind of an institution is also a very proud moment. And I think everyone, even that goes past in the metro, Hyderabad Public School is bang between two metro stations.
Yes.
When you get from one to the other, all you have is the school on the left.
But then what a beautiful building that is. What balance there is in that building.
Yeah.
Public school, our school, I don't know if
So,
you've seen the public school, no?
we still take pride in our heritage
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
city. Yes.
It's so interesting you say this, because at the end of the first session, what we concluded was that all of us in that panel were absolutely in love with Hyderabad.
Yes.
So, and that was the bottom line. Like, so
The ones that you earlier had were
Yes.
the much younger generation than us.
that's
So
true.
for
And
us, we still have that Hyderabadi.
No,
Hamara-
they are
so
not
it,
high.
it goes
Yeah,
to
of
say,
course.
I think, that you set the foundation
Yeah.
so strong that
Yeah.
it's sort of there's that
It
whole
just
trickle
continued.
down. Yeah?
Yeah.
And when you ask the question where Renu said, "Nahin, but I beg to differ there, architects are definitely part of the entire initiative of Hyderabad's expansion. Because, I mean, who is an urban planner? An urban planner is an architect. Without an urban planner, they could not have done this. They could not have achieved this. And I take my hat off to the erstwhile Chief Minister of Andhra
we'll
Pradesh.
not take names.
No, why not? I mean, very proud of him.
Yeah.
He was our Prime Minister, Chief
Exactly.
Minister, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. He had that vision. He wonderfully, it is very uncanny, the man, the way he used to visualize something and used to take everybody together. In fact, I remember we were part of a competition, design competition, which we won, and he saw that competition. They were redoing the what do you call this, the authority, RTA, Road Transport Authority. So they wanted to demolish this, and he wanted to put a multi-story revenue bhavan. So we won the competition in 1986, 87. But then a lot of the intervention came along from the government, like you say, challenges, are there for architects. Regulatory challenges, all challenges, all kinds of challenges. So they said, no, you can't disturb this. So it completely kind of faded. Then at that point in time, he was on the verge, on the threshold of that beginning of that expansion. So it took a lot of architects, a lot of Singapore, town planners were here, urban planners. So it was architect-led, but finally when it went into building design and when it went to filling all the spaces, of course a lot of architects came in and they also joined it. And the best thing was, I take my hat off to these three successive government after Chandrababu Naidu, who never even for a minute think of redoing or undoing anything what the earlier man has done. Because you know how politicians are. No, Yeshwant didn't know what. Because of the interest, because they knew what was coming and they wanted to be part of it. I mean, the man is, in Panjakutta and all, I used to come from Bangalore, ye kya hui building, all the shops, as if you really cut a cake.
Yeah.
But those people there, your shopkeepers, gave it willingly. They knew what was coming, and today I must say, they must be very happy. Because look at the way he started off from the nucleus of the city,
Right.
from the CBD, what you call it. But actually the nucleus, if you take the planning, it's the nucleus of the city. Then he started going outward. Correct me if I'm wrong. First he did the city, repaired in the sense, repaired design and rebuilt, expanded roads. Then he started coming slowly outside. And when you ask the other question, beginning of this millennium, the 20th century, 21st century, we could see a visible change in the urban landscape.
Yeah.
It was very visible. The shape of things to come, it clearly shouted at you that this is what we are doing. You could easily make out. Look at that. I've just come here, look at the, relatively back of beyond place, but look at the road, 200 feet, 180 feet road. It's a pleasure. You won't find this anywhere because I have the good fortune of being in Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Yes.
Oh, Bangalore is a beautiful city.
Was.
Loved it.
Was,
But it was,
Yeah.
I know. But they have systematically
it's so
ruined
sad.
it. Now so kuch nahi kare. The way we stay,
I
way we
left my
work.
heart in Bangalore too when I had to shift from
Yeah.
Bangalore to Hyderabad, but I don't regret it anymore.
Yeah.
When was this? I didn't know this, that you had.
Oh, I cut my professional teeth in Bangalore.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
yeah, even I didn't know yes.
Even in bank
Chanda was
profession.
hacker.
That Bangalore connection brings me also. I am originally from Bangalore.
Yeah.
studied here, went to,
So
went to
Hyderabad
Bangalore
is
for
very
working.
special in that thing. I mean, I think it's one of the finest cities in India today, and one of the 10 most livable cities in the world. I mean, maybe a lot of people may not agree, but the fact is the fact.
I think we've embraced modernism very
Absolutely.
comfortably.
Yeah.
I mean, embrace modernism, but still haven't lost sight of the tradition,
Yeah.
the traditional values that still have, even in the building. How they are, how like culture capital, whatever. How culture is shaping buildings. Okay, may not be very literal, but elements of design here and there.
Yes, yes.
And you get that feeling. You
Yeah.
certainly get that.
And I
feeling.
think in some small way, the fact that we have such strong professional guilds in Hyderabad of architects and interior
Yes.
designers
Yeah.
and people who love rocks and so on, the city has kept itself together
Absolutely.
because of that.
I think, like architects, designers, and the rock guy, everyone were together to see that it's still there
Yeah.
and nobody just takes it away from you. So
And
actually all Hyderabadis will have, yeah, hamara Hyderabad hai. You don't. I mean,
the
this
average
is
man
it.
in the
We
street is a
have
very
that
proud man.
garden hotel itself. So then what are we talking about the city,
So also,
Yeah.
Renu, the cultural organizations like La Macan,
Yeah,
Alliance
exactly.
Française, Quarter Central, they've all done so much. to
Exactly.
keep this-
That's what I'm saying. The culture.
And that has, that
Reflect.
because they promoted it and everyone took to it. It's not that, bakwas hai, ya chhod do, ya kuch kar. But everyone was involved in, and everything of the actual Hyderabad style.
And the great thing is, it was done in such a short period of time. By the time you blinked, it almost happened. I think 15 years it took. I think that was the period.
No.
That's
More
it.
than
Yeah.
that.
No, middle.
Yes,
no.
yes, 15 years.
95, I think we
95 to
started seeing
2005. And after that
Yeah.
residual work is still going on. I will not say it is finished. It is still going on.
No, it never
It's
be finished.
It's an ever growing.
It's a-
it is an ever growing
Yeah.
city.
No,
Like,
I was
Let
away
me
from
get
Hyderabad
to
for
the
15
next
years. 15 years I was away, I was in Bangalore. When I came back to Hyderabad, I saw the total 180-degree shift.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could make it. Then like you said, all new places. I don't even know which are these places. I only used to know Abid, Himayat Nagar, Banjara Hills, and all.
The whole,
Yeah.
Then
whole
the
center is
people
shifted.
selling
yeah.
high tech city, Madhapur. We didn't
Everybody
know what
only
it
knew
was.
ISB
nucleus,
this side of the
nucleus.
world, I think.
Absolutely. So that
Baba,
15
shift
years,
over,
whole
Baba,
thing changed.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Speaking
really,
of Hyderabad and being Hyderabadi, I think the tehzeeb of Hyderabad can never
you
be
cannot
left out.
touch it.
But since you've all sort of been working in hospitality and you're very much at it even now, would
Even
you
now
say
means?
you're still at it? You're no,
Sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
That's I didn't mean that.
But would you say that Hyderabad has sort of found a way to take this one notch higher, or is it just becoming more spectacular visually and we are sort of leaving the soul out of the way we...
No, I don't think that will happen. No. The soul is intact. Very intact. And I'm not
This-
saying
the
that I'm
old
Hyderabadi.
soul is still intact, but the
Because-
new ones, I will not
I
take.
don't know that, but
no,
generally
but
the
there are a
city-
lot of new ones who are come, and it's not that all the new.
No, she doesn't mean that. She means on a macro basis
On
the
that-
city.
that's exactly
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with you. Some of the newer hospitality projects have no context. to the
Exactly, that's
culture.
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
I agree.
So he agree. Maybe I think we both are here more than you are. We have the experience of all the hospitality. Yeah, that's there.
Because the
Purana
average
ho gaya.
Hyderabadi is very warm and hospitable. That is a nature. That's a
I mean,
nature.
if we sitting here are working on a project, so we will always see to it that whatever you do, it's welcome. You have to welcome people. In any case, what is hospitality? Hospitality is either you're at
Yeah, all
home
about
or you're at
making the guests happy,
anywhere. It's you have to be hospitable to accept and welcome the guests that come. It's hospitality is that, and being Hyderabadis, I think we are all on those lines. कि जो घर आया तो हाँ भाई. I mean, आपसे बड़ा कोई
And
नहीं.
another thing has happened is the work culture has changed drastically. I mean, there was no work culture at all. But again, you're seeing in hindsight, during those days, late 80s, what was the work? I mean, as architects, there were 4 architects in Hyderabad. Two of them with my uncle, Salamat Ali Khan and Hashmat Raza. And then another two, Mr. Vijay Raju, and then there was about 6 architectural firms, and half of them used to be professors and teach part-time. Because utna kaam tha nahi. I mean, it was obviously. But in that race, when I used to go to Bangalore during that time, when Hyderabad, they used to call it the hick town in Bangalore. What are you doing in that hick town? I said, look, we are doing it. We'll overtake you one day. And but of course, I owe a lot to Bangalore. We owe a lot to Bangalore collectively, Renu and I, and that's giving us so much, a place in the architectural fraternity, a certain status, if I may use the word. Professional status. I mean, people know who Siraj Ar is by now, but it could not have happened in Hyderabad that soon, that time. Now it can.
Right.
So that's changed again. And now, at that time, Bangalore was really forward. I mean, you used to feel the difference. Yeah. Arey, kya yaar hai Hyderabad?
When did you come back from Bangalore, Yeshwant?
I worked in Chandavarkan actually.
Yeah, you were in CAT.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was my first assignment.
Yes,
I worked there
I
for
remember
3
that.
years.
Yeah.
Went to Iran and then came and set up Taktis
You went to
here.
Iran?
Yeah, he was in Iran for a long
Why
time.
didn't know that? Sorry. Doesn't matter.
No, never too
It
late.
doesn't. Yeah.
But talking of hospitality again, and like Siraj was saying, as physical designers, we can only talk about the tangible
Yes.
parts of Hyderabadi culture. The intangible parts are how you welcome people, how you make them feel, welcome into a project. And I think at whichever level of hospitality all of us have worked, the promoters of these projects welcome people very openly.
True.
That is so true.
And whoever has come to Hyderabad, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
I mean, 8 out of 10 people that I know, friends we have very well know, they came from Delhi, worked in companies, they've never went back. They just bought land, settled here. They said, no, this is
गंदी
a
पेट
place.
का पानी अगर पी लिए
हाँ,
तो तुम नहीं हैदराबाद छोड़ के नहीं जा
नहीं जा
सकते
I mean, Gandhi
वो
Pet is
वो पुरानी कहावत है और वो I think it's still is there.
Metaphorically, it's absolutely correct.
Yeah, and now I don't think we get गंदी पेट पानी, but वो है कि मतलब
Gandhi Pet was the only source of
only
water
source
supply
of water.
to
Yeah,
Hyderabad.
yeah. So
Hyderabad.
everyone used to say कि गंदी पेट का पानी पी लिए ना अब नहीं जा सकते.
It's so ironic you say that. Today when when you compare generally the way labor works in Hyderabad versus other
Yeah.
cities, our sense of professionalism is still pretty low down there.
I don't
There
disagree
I don't
there.
agree.
No, I don't disagree there. No, it is right.
And just the time that we show up, we have our own standard time.
There is that laid back,
Yeah, there is
laid
definitely.
backness, if I can use
That is
Hey, well,
changing
hey.
now, Yeshwant.
I'm
So
everywhere it is there. Bangalore
अभी
is
तुम भी
there.
देख
Chennai no.
Bombay, no.
Bombay
Traffic
no.
पे
No,
अटक
not
गए.
at all.
ट्रैफिक में अटक गए. No, I can't. I mean, यहाँ पे भी.
So we're not taking
No.
no for an answer on anything on Hyderabad.
Yes,
Also,
I'm not
moving
going
on. Yeshwant sir, you spoke about Sikandrabad Club, and I remember when you were sort of working on it, we met, and there were a lot of stories that you said may not ever see the public eye in terms of what went behind the making. But I think my question really is, when you work on these sensitive projects that sort of form the memory of a city, how do you decide what to retain and what to let go? Because there's always a trade-off, right?
As far as possible, you try to cling to the past. If you can't recreate it for whatever reason, then you try to replicate it with modern technology.
True.
But get it to be as close as possible visually, at least, if not functionally, to what was originally there.
It's possible. I'll tell you a small thing on this. We also designed, again, a small project in the Bangalore Club. Have you gone to the Bangalore Club, the main bar? Have you seen that Gothic
Yes,
design?
yes.
Right? So the committee called me and said, Siraj, there's a bridge room there, all of about 1,200 square feet. And, we want the best. I said, Dekho boss, I'll design it for you. I mean, if you really want, we can do like this. We can do it in the old style. I said, I'll do it in a manner that you will feel that it's part of the old club. Everything put together. Anyway, cut the long story short, I went and saw the site. It was dripping, like going out of, it was all porous, the ceiling. Anyway, I had them done RCC ceiling, and we did a beautiful pub, even if I say so myself, with these Gothic ceilings and, medieval, more medieval than colonial kind of thing, you know. But it came out by the grace of God quite well. And the greatest compliment I got was that everybody liked it. When the chief secretary, you know, who was the one, what is that guy's name, was a very fine man who passed away, earlier chief secretary. When we inaugurated the thing, he said, no, call that man there, the tall man there. What are you doing there? Come here. He's the man who's done this. He says, he was a historian. He wrote books on Bangalore. And one day we were sitting in the lawn and Vijay has been a friend and Vijay Malia said, "Arey yaar, show me your bar. I will learn a lot about it." I said, "Chalo, dikha." Dekhi bola, it's damn good, yaar, very good, excellent. But I never noticed the ceiling in this club here. In all my 20 years, I said, this doesn't belong to the club. You mean you've done the ceiling? I said, everything I've done. He's like, boss, amazing. It looked as if it came with the club. So that is the kind of thing when you're asking him, you know, to that level you should have done it. And he's done a remarkable job in the club. Fabulous job.
Especially those columns.
The colonnade and
the columns were already
you know,
there
are
and
beautiful
it was covered.
cast iron garden columns in that. There must have been a veranda.
Yeah,
that
but
goes
Yeshwant probably will
and
be
he
able
threw
to
out the
tell us.
paneling and put up beautiful.
Tell us better.
You must tell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we took photographs because the cast iron columns have the name of the manufacturer at the bottom.
Oh, really?
And there were people who made these kind of cast iron columns for railway stations.
What is the name of that company? यहाँ भी थे बहुत थे. Something and Sons.
Yes.
Something and Sons. Anyway, so that is what he did, and he exposed these. I don't want to do anything. Brilliant.
Sometimes we can't get back the old. For example, the Secunderabad Club was full of hunting trophies. There were about 26 of them lined up on the wall. They all burnt down. And now we can't replace them because the animal rights activists and the forest department say that they must have certification to say that they are not poached. So we've just got about 3 or 4, but they're there. I mean, it's better than not having any at all.
True. So I hope we disagree here because you've all been absolutely in unison over everything that we've spoken. What do you think
somewhere
about...
we have to disagree.
Somewhere, I hope so. But I feel like you won't. But anyway, let me still ask you. Are you happy with the way Hyderabad's been growing? Or if you had any special powers, would you sort of stop this vertical growth that we are seeing?
No, certainly not. So. If you want to look into the future, you have to have space below.
I wouldn't stop it. I would make Hyderabad a more pedestrian-friendly city.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
This is one of the things that we are sadly lacking in this part of the city.
Cycling and pedal walking.
You can get killed trying to cross a road. There are no footpaths.
No.
There are no parks at all. So I wish in the future the town planning authorities include more kind of green spaces into the expansion programs.
Kannan, you will go back a happy man this weekend. Your product is safe, so is the vision ahead.
The way the city is growing is awesome. It is going vertically up. Typically, Hyderabad used to be a villa kind of a community earlier. Now with the FSI moving out, it's like it's going vertical and vertical. And the more vertical you go, we have got special challenges which we are ready with. Higher wind loads and all that. So we have got.
FSI going out is the wrong statement, if I may say so, because it has not gone out. I mean, every building has an FSI, floor space index, or an FAR, floor area. You can't say I don't have an FAR.
I'm saying,
but the way
the limits have been moved.
But the way the rules have been framed, my hats off to them.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not that everywhere you can bring these 40 floor. No, you can't do it. There is zoning involved, because in this thing you have to do a proper zoning of the entire area that you're doing. You have to talk about, Hyderabad, I think, is a good mix of vertical and horizontal development till date, at least. Till date, there's a good balance. The balance could be much better, leaning towards a little more open spaces and parks. And I absolutely couldn't agree more with him. It could tilt towards that a little bit more. But it has, I mean, there's nothing kind of lacking at the moment. Cities are growing. But then in the middle, even in the middle and the CBD areas, some areas you can't really go up. They should have allowed, because you see, the more you go up in a congested place, see, what about New York? What about the American cities? They can't have a, So if you go up that much space, you have to, as he's saying, walk around the building itself or have jogging tracks or expand that place.
I think now most of the buildings are being done in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
The clubhouses
But
and
the
the garden.
gated community is a very privileged sort of a setup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not public in that sense.
It's
No, it's
not, yeah.
No, you can't include that. He's talking about public parks
correct.
as part of the infrastructure.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things we are missing is that we don't have an urban arts commission.
Absolutely.
And it's very important, even for modern cities, to have some kind of guidelines about the aesthetics of the way you're growing it. And like we have so many other planning organizations within the government,
Even the
a
heritage part.
consultancy for urban art would go a long way in ensuring that there is some kind of uniformity in the shape and size and the form of the buildings that are coming up.
And also we lost some gems of buildings. I mean, old Art Deco and old medieval style. Not medieval, but old style. One is the GVK mall that is built there. I remember that Rahmatullah's house. What a beautiful.
Actually,
I mean, it was such an
for that
example
building,
of
they gave
what do you
the
call,
intact guys had
Art
given
Deco architecture.
whatever.
Art Deco.
This is the same house that has
they
a
have.
rock inside and...
No, that was
that was-
Mehdi Nawaz, another uncle of mine, who
Yeah.
started Banjara Hill, who
That was-
went
that
on
was
horseback
sad.
with his British friends and started. They used to come to our house, tell my grandmother, Chachi Jaan, aap ye le lo, develop karo. Mehdi Nawaz say, Momani, whatever you call him.
Charani.
दो आने गज, दो आने
चार
गज,
आने।
10 रुपए एकड़. अरे कौन जाके मरेगा मियाँ वो जंगल में. Typical Hyderabadi. वो जंगल में कौन जाए, नहीं बाबा मेरे को ये अच्छा है. You know, that kind of thing. You
It was
know? So
even
that
Jubilee Hills
house
was
was
like
broke.
that.
It was featured in the architectural record in the 60s. How
That
could
was
they
sad.
allow it? That's why he's saying the urban. You have to have checks and balances. I mean, with due respect to builders, builders are our bread and butter. But if I were a builder also, I wouldn't do that. I would find another site.
One thing is to be more respectful to the rocks. I mean, they have a primordial right to be here,
Yeah.
much more
I
than
agree
we
with
do.
you.
We
and
do,
we are
yeah.
blasting
Thousands of
them.
I
years.
agree with you.
Then that Farooq's wife also did some work. Then after that fizzled out. But now not very many people are doing it. But see now, like when
But
you
at
did the
I think
8-lane
now,
expressway to Bangalore, to the
intact
airport,
is- I don't know.
they had to break those rocks because without that it was not possible. I mean, you couldn't go like this. So that is by Laksani, the rocks banani. That you can't. Those are the, as I call, the hazards of development. You cannot not do it. You have to go to that.
And I think Jaipur and in the modern cities, Chandigarh, to a large extent have been able to control the aesthetic language of the city through urban arts commissions.
Yeah, dekho na.
We should be having something like
They
that.
must.
Yeah, we could definitely do
We must do.
lesser
Actually, the architects.
art on all these columns.
Maybe we can
that,
get together in
you know,
the Institute of Architects or something like that and do it. Yeah. Make an
definitely
application.
think.
I think this is quite affable. This chief minister, he sees reason and he'll probably do it. I don't know.
Companies such as Toastum should actually be hosting these urban arts commissions. And
Yeah, why not? Tell them.
Yeah.
They have all the money. The Japanese.
the Japanese have a great reverence for history.
Yes, absolutely. The Buddhists,
they almost guard their heritage with
Yes.
so fiercely.
that's what we lacked. That is what, because in everything you see capital. I mean, come on.
But you know, I think in Jaipur and Udaipur side is still better than.
But it's only the walled city part of it, no? The city, where the...
No, but where the palaces are, none of them have, I don't think.
Correct, that's all the walled city
Yeah,
part
what
of
do
it.
they have?
Jaipur वगैरह में जो palaces वगैरह हैं, they're not breaking. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, the expansion, whatever I have seen of
They won't
Jaipur or
expand those
whatever I
buildings, no,
remember,
they won't touch those buildings.
it's not like ये भी तोड़ दो या वो भी तोड़ दो. I
But
don't think
Jaipur
it's
also
like
had
that.
the
I don't know.
advantage of being living heritage, right? In Hyderabad, if we talk about
Hyderabad,
our heritage,
there is no living heritage.
there's no living heritage.
Like King Koti अपने पास वैसी बंद रखी
The
है.
old city is there for a certain extent, but that
Not
also.
anymore.
Jaipur's heritage is what is driving the economy of that entire city.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, huh?
One way I think Siraj mentioned about people being on faculty. At the time we all went to university, both of them went to just the single college here.
Yeah.
There are 17 colleges of architecture. We can actually shape the way students are
Absolutely,
thinking.
we should do that.
You have 17 colleges in Hyderabad.
17 in
Yeah.
Hyderabad now.
Just Hyderabad, we're not even
When
saying
we
Telangana.
started and when Chawla wanted to do that, and I mean, there were hardly any, nobody wanted to join architecture college because everyone wanted to go to IT, technology, and all that. Now all that is puss. Now, the only problem is now we have to see what happens with the AI and
I'm told architecture is again not the most happening preferred course. So it sort of went through a
exactly,
cycle.
it
No, I
did.
think
It
it's
did.
coming back now.
It is.
No,
isn't
I
now. It's
doubt
don't know.
it.
Not perceived as a paying profession,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
for boys.
I agree with him. Yeah.
And the enrollment is 70% girls, 30% boys.
Yeah,
And the girls mostly drop out if they get married.
yeah, that's the problem.
Moving to the last question, I think if there's been one project that every generation in Hyderabad has seen, it's possibly the redevelopment around
Talking about
Musi
Hyderabad
River.
projects or all India projects?
No, Hyderabad. Hyderabad ki generation in Hyderabad. It's been Musi. Like Musi has been the one project that almost every,
No,
couple of
one
years.
project or one design structure. You're talking about a built space.
No, project. Like just an idea or a project. In that sense, I'm saying Musi redevelopment or that has sort of been, every 5 years it gets a new name and it sort of surfaces back.
The name is the same, but the problem is nobody is doing
Correct.
it.
But hypothetically, assuming it were to come through now, and you were the ones designing it, what do you think would sort of,
Acha, take up and design it.
would be your most strong line of thought? Will it be collective memory? Is it restoration, ecology? A bit of all of that, but what do you think would be the most, like a homage that you could pay to Hyderabad through Musi development? What do you think would that be?
I think I would focus on materiality. I would use the local materials
Yeah.
that are available here. I would use landscape elements that all of us have been familiar with and grown up with. Plantation, greenery, those are the memories which I think can easily be replicated. I certainly wouldn't want to create a building that has arches and commands and masjids and minarets all over the place. That is not the Hyderabadi architecture. But something about the intangibility of the spaces and bring it back.
But speaking of that, I agree with him actually. I think one of the greatest examples of temple in Islamic architecture is the Osmania University, designed by Jasper. I mean, have you noticed the thing? The
Yeah.
arches below, the Mughal arches, the temple arches above. I think it's such a beautifully done project. I quite like it. You like it? No, you don't like it.
I have been to Charles Correa's building at ECIL.
Yes.
I like that building very much.
Which one is Charles Collier and ECIL?
He's designed the administration building at
I didn't see
ECIL.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And that was the first place where he used the brisisol to protect it
Where is
because
that?
he came to Hyderabad and he noticed that the sunshine was very, very sharp and the heat was very strong. So he in fact invented that as a building component at the ECIL project.
I never see that.
And,
Where is ECI?
yeah,
Electronic City Corporation of India Limited, who
Electronic
made the first
Corporation of
televisions.
India, yeah.
One of the first.
Um,
Maulari.
Maulali.
Maulali ke paas.
Yeah, there.
I
I
don't-
remember.
I
But
I
I'm
was
not-
a student when that building was coming up, and
Oh,
that,
wow.
that kind of stayed with me.
At the admin block.
Yes.
But if we were talking more in terms of like a riverfront,
yeah,
like
because
a
you're
more,
talking about the
more of
Musi
an
River.
urban space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Musi के पास ही है ना अपना उस्मानिया hospital.
See, Musi, I mean,
It stretches sort of.
Yeah.
yeah, that
From one
then
end
a
to the
different-
other end.
I mean, you're talking about the riverfront development.
Yeah.
A lot of ecology, you can habitat, different,
I'm
they
just
do
saying,
that.
if we
Yeah.
were to reimagine it in whatever form, what would you see it as? That's all.
There, in that case, like he's saying materiality, there I would, as part of hell, I mean, as you know, I mean, we are all architects here. So, a landscape has landscape, waterscape, hardscapes. In the hardscapes part, I would try to take elements of the old Hyderabad architecture and use them in some form or something other. So you know, with lighting, effective lighting, you could in the evening, like he's saying, I won't have arches. Good, I agree with him. But I would use part to show a pergola or a pavilion. I would like to create a Hyderabad pavilion. You know, like
I maybe not when I.
No, just
I would just prefer
a river. I mean,
proper
the
river with landscape and maybe
that's what I'm
some
saying.
waterfalls or
the
things like that. It make
landscape.
it more interesting than to give people a pavilion or something like that, because people will go there and make a mess of it and come back.
That is a
So
different
that's
matter.
a
We're not
maintenance.
looking at that.
So I rather have it. Nobody.
No,
I mean,
I'm
just
not
go
talking
and,
about a pavilion where 500 people gather. I'm talking about a small little
I know, but
kiosk.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that I am not an architect, but then I would request people all sitting here that can we recreate old Hyderabad as old Hyderabad?
Yeah, you can.
Like which we were all brought up with all those bundis, which we were all brought up with. We used to walk for 2 kilometers.
Yeah, you can call it the Begum Bazaar.
Cycle rickshaws and all that
I mean,
stuff.
that again cannot be part of the river. It will have to be, as a
If we are doing something like,
extension
can
or
we
sides of
recreate
it.
something like that
To
where we
recreate.
get back to that?
A lot you can do actually. You know, in hardscape only you can depict that, can get elements of that style, and use it in a different usage. But
No, Musi River used to be once upon a time. I don't think there was any.
and I might transport some rocks
this
and all that there. All around. Yeah, why not?
It was not there.
You can do it in fiberglass.
I mean, there was nothing around
But this is
Musi
something
River as
happening. I don't
such,
think anything
whatever
is
I
happening.
remember of.
No.
It was just river.
New
river.
architects get commissioned.
River without
and
water. Most of the
goes back to the back burner.
गंडीपेट का पानी छूटेगा तो आएगा पानी.
My research when I was writing this book on stepwells actually threw up a lot of information about what happened along the Musi. There were a lot of bags. The gentility of Hyderabad all had these gardens which opened out onto the Musi. If we could create those kind of bags, not exclusively for people who have the wealth, but open them up to the public. Make them pedestrian areas.
Gardens, bags.
Gardens. Bar. I thought bars.
All the bags are on the
He was looking. He thought it was bar.
Yeshwant, तो तुम जो बोल रहे हो, that in the same manner I'm speaking. You create a bar, but give a little pavilion in the bar which talks about Hyderabad. That's all I'm saying. Just give a little, memory, as you say. Bring it down to your memory, one or two. You can do that. You can use it for a barbecue. You can use it for whatever. Serving counter, like a takeaway.
You like bundis.
But yeah, why not?
So I think
That's it.
that's about it.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for
pleasure.
taking
Thanks
us
a lot.
down the nostalgia path, for refreshing so many
You
incredible
can go on
memories.
endlessly on this topic.
I think you all should write a book. I think
Yeshwant
this
is doing it.
conversation should not be privy just to
He's
this
doing
room.
it. He's doing it for all of us.
We will look forward to it, sir. We will do the publication, the making sure that you get the money back.
I'll hold you to that.
Absolutely, I genuinely mean it. If it's going to bring back
What are you
so many
calling it, the
memories.
book?
No, she's just joking. She's pulling my leg.
I thought you said you were writing a book.
No, I've written a book
Oh, read a
already.
book.
I have
What is it called?
The Forgotten Stepwells of Telangana.
Stepwells is something.
Of Telangana.
Beautiful.
Of
I
Telangana,
saw
yeah.
that. I saw the pictures of Stepwell. I must buy that book. Oh, very nice.
So
I
thank
have a copy in the car. I'll give one to you.
we will
Yeah.
continue the conversation. I think he can then stop
yeah.
the. So thank you all so very much.
And thank you
This
for
was
calling us, having us over. It was really interesting.
Thank you, Shweta, for making me sit along with this elite panelist. Thank
Oh,
you so
no,
much.
go on. There's no elite here. Nobody is elite.
Thank you.
But we really went down memory lane. It was
Yeah.
very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.